I did not expect to see my mother and dead grandfather in the streets of Amsterdam. I went to the city because my mother told me that somewhere on her father's side we had Dutch blood. I don't remember what the cafe was called, but I remember it had red pleather booths. The table was cramped, but had just enough room for a plate and a bagel sandwich. I paid for the bagel sandwich with the blue, shiny Visa debit card that charged me 15 cents every time I made a purchase outside of the States. I handed the card to my mother. Mother, what are you doing here? You should be home in Colorado. You should be working with the child with cerebral palsy, the one who doesn't speak, who shudders every time you undo the ridges in her back. You're not supposed to be working at a cafe in Amsterdam. Why are you here swiping my card for this bagel sandwich? Your hair is different. Shoulder length and frizzy instead of closely cropped auburn curls. But I recognize your clear blue eyes and the rounded tip of your nose. I stare at the rounded tip of your nose, pink with small pores, while you hand me back my receipt and my card and mumble something in accented English. You must recognize me as the American son, the one with the Dutch features muddled with Scotch and Irish and whatever else. I say thank you in my American accent. Funny how I didn't think to look up how to say thank you in Dutch. Brooke and Jordan and I walk through the Anne Frank house. There is no furniture and the windows are covered. People shuffle through with lean-in and whisper tones. I believe the sign that tells me that this spot in the annex is where Anne peered through the crack to watch regular life sidling by alongside the canals. I don't think that Anne is in this house anymore. If she was, I'd ask her about my grandfather. I'd like to know where he is. Maybe somewhere she met him, far above the line stretching between the Netherlands and Colorado. I saw him for a moment in the flower market. We were wandering around looking for the tulips when he passed me by without a second glance. I recognized him for the gray, wiry curls on his head and the way the tan skin bunched up around his dark eyes, the flannel shirt and beige pants, the shoulder hunch and soft walk. He walked by me looking straight ahead. I stopped and took in his quiet form. Grandfather, why are you here? You're supposed to be gone. I watched you in that room as your body rasped its last breath and your body gave out that last ounce of life. What are you doing here, and why won't you look at me? I buy a bouquet of wooden tulips, 2 lavender, 2 orange, and 2 sky blue. I will give them to my mother for Christmas as a symbol or something. I pay the bearded, thick man with a couple euro. I can't remember what the exchange rate is, so I don't know if I'm being ripped off or not. The bearded, thick man grunts something at me as he hands me back a couple coins. And he is not my mother, and he is not my grandfather. He's a stranger. His body is analogous to mine, sans beard. But his mind occupies a space that mine will never be able to enter. I will never know who he is. I'll never know his past or his future. He's a stranger, and I am not home. I will never find my mother or my grandfather or the ancestors whose names have disappeared now. I'm just an American, a boy, with only 4 months to find the fossils of a lost heritage, drifting across the canals, the blue Visa debit card in one hand, and a bouquet of wooden tulips in the other.